Okay, hello there everyone, this is I Am Mark 3 and welcome back to Rust Removal Builds, where I am working on the, I should have to stop and think about this every single time, the AX-B1. Yay, I did it! Do I get a cookie? I don't? Oh. Yeah, the AX-B1, and I hope that that piece of armouring does not get in the way of the turret. Let's see. Turning. Yep, okay. That does not affect the turret, right? So, I'm just sealing up the gun compartment now as best I can with the doodads I've installed. There we go, that should be good. And then I can bring it around the front here. So there we go. So, this is either going to be the final part or the second to last part. I'm not entirely sure which. Is that getting in the way of the turret? That one is. Okay, beam 3. There we go. So, yeah. Continuing my work. My precious work. In this one, I am going to install defensive measures, additional systems. We have got a power core. We have got... we've got power, we've got fuel, we've got ammunition. We don't have a battery reserve. There is that. A battery backup engine is actually probably a really simple thing to... Well, it would be a simple thing to add, yes. It would be useful, potentially. It could save the boat, maybe. But... yeah, basically what we need for this particular part and to finish this boat, because we've got nearly everything now, is defensive measures. So, let us begin. Also, extra weapons would not go amiss. No, focus. Defensive measures, yes. So, I'm going to start installing with the missiles, which I'm going to install here. Actually, I'm going to install that there. This is basically mounted on the rear magazine. Yes, must admit to that one. But that is with good reason, because I am actually connecting to bits and pieces. Where do I want to put this thing, actually? I'm thinking... no, this is... actually, let's install it here. Let's actually drop it a level and install it there. Yeah, so this is actually going to be a decoy system. Also additional detection system as well, but hey-ho and hilly-ho. Yep, so we've got that. We need a staggered fire on it, of course. We don't need the IFF because it's not going to care. So a staggered fire add-on, which is going to be every 2.5 seconds, that one. And I'm going to just add in a basic launcher. So a really small launch pad to either side, like so. That's all connected. And the reason I spaced it like that is because I want to add ejectors to it. So ejector add-on on either side. I'm going to rig this thing for general launch. So actually I think I want to have that there. And that's because I want to find space for 8 radar buoys. Actually, for testing purposes, really quickly, I want to see how this thing fires. So I'm going to slot this thing into group 4. Required accuracy 0, doesn't care. So group 4, we're going to test fire this thing. Okay, so it is a bit random. Okay, right. I will install actually radar and sonar buoys. That'd be good. Detection equipment. We want radar and sonar. So these are guys are going to act like additional detection. So radar and sonar buoys, which will help deal with all of that. We want a control ACB, which is what's actually going to be firing this darn thing. So there we go. Right, you have a weapon range. I'm going to set your effect range to 2, since you're right next to the thing. And if you detect enemy missiles / torpedoes within any reach, well, actually within one, no, any, actually no, just flat out if you detect an enemy. If there is an enemy around, you will fire connected weapon systems. Let's just figure out where that is. There it is. Weapons. Weapon systems, fire. So that will start firing this attached launcher, which I'll increase to 0.5 seconds. And it now needs some configuring. So, let's see. You are not a missile interceptor. You will never be a missile interceptor. You will instead carry, because you're a defensive measure, primarily they just happen to include detection capability as well. You're going to carry flares. Yes, lovely, lovely flares. Flares, which I will sell to ignite. You ignite initially, you ignite after fire 4 seconds, and you ignite after 8 seconds. Each flare lasts 5 seconds, by the way, but that's just like that. So I'm just going to actually include post-ignition. You drop a couple of seconds. Yeah, the flares basically get discarded as they go. And then that one sticks with it. Actually, no, that one goes as well. So that's like that. And then, lastly in the utility, we are going to have a sonar buoy. So that's like that. So this thing will be mildly scattering its flares, but it's not going to be a major flare system. But the other one carries the sonars, so this one will carry the radars. But this will add for aid in general detection, just to help out. So firing this. Yep, off it goes. As we are a boat, by the way, it goes pretty high up before it starts to fall back. There actually was something Raz said, which is he likes to have like a thruster on it, so it's like it goes whee, off we go, and draws anything heat tracking up into space. The problem is that if I'm going to include detection, actually, you know what? Let's try one of Raz's things. You drop after 1 second. 1 second. Actually, no. It's just going to ignite immediately. There's no drop. And that's because I'm going to install a short-range thruster and a fuel tank. It needs nothing else. It's just going to be really bright and go sky high. I'm not seeing the flares, actually. Oh, why are the flares down there? Oh, it's because I put it the wrong way. They were just discarding the flares immediately upon launch. Okay. Let's try that then. Yeah, that should be useful. Okay, there we go. So I'm ditching detection. I'm just going to go with decoy mode, which also saves on general processing capability because I'm about to do something expensive for that in terms of a supporting weapon system. Okay, right, we have got flares. Which can actually fire pretty darn steady, so that's fine. I'll take you off weapon groups because I don't need random control for you anymore. Preferably without changing your settings, there we go. You will auto fire if there's enemies in range. This means I also need detection for Yeah, I also need detection to notice when there's a missile coming in. So yeah, I was actually planning to round out the back of the craft a little bit further. So I'm actually going to do that. Just to help protect it against incoming noodles. Okay, right. So, this is something I'm going to try and do to help with missile detection, which is going to be... I need a missile controller. Actually, I need a little bit more space there, so I'm going to retract it ever so slightly on the rear hull a little bit further. I'm going to include a little bit of extra plating on the front because we need a little bit of extra depth on it. What I'm doing is I'm going to make a really basic local web, and I want a wireless on that. So that's that, and then new object, spin turret. No, I want a one-axis turret. Yeah. And then I'll layer it up because I want some stuff. So I want an AI. I want a AI connector like that. I want a munitions warner. Like that. Though we've also got some stuff disguised on the top as well, just in case. That means I'm going to have to retract the rear hull a little bit further as well. Oh well. We need the wireless, which is why I've got the wood blocks. Sorry, I'm just going, I want this, and this. No. Then I think I want the missile controller underneath that, just so that it's like... You don't have any launch pads, but you will turn towards the enemy.
Turning off.
There we go, it's auto-firing that. That's trying to turn, but it's jammed a little bit by the presence of the armor plating. Which is why I said I'd have to adjust the size of the thing there. There we go. So that thing is now a turning munition tracker. It will turn towards the enemy, but it also maintains full munitions tracking around the place, so that's going to help out. Okay, so we've got that. Next up, shielding! We've got plenty of power for shielding. Let's see, MISC. Shielding. You can tell I'm at the end of my tether, can't you? Right. Mirror. Turn it. That away. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I saw some shield projectors over here, I think. Let's just deal with the elevation and the range. Also, we need to get the height up and the width up. 2 is normally good for if you've got like a rounded thing right behind it. So, yeah, there we go. That's going to add a lot of static protection. Though I'll also note, by the way, it doesn't protect the front of the craft at all. That was deliberate. Because I am going to install an additional one at the front, which I'm going to angle to properly take advantage of potential size of the ships. That kind of covers the nose. I think that's actually roughly where I want it to be. It doesn't quite cover everything, but it is doing a darn good job of it. I just need to turn the azimuth a little bit so we've got some... There we go. And that actually provides full coverage to everything. So, yeah. Now go shielding. Copy, and... Actually, no, I need to modify a bit further. 12.5 azimuth, height fine, range fine. I will increase the thing to Strength. We can actually get some really strong shield. 450, that's way too high. Strength 2.5 or strength 3, I think is about what we're going to do. Strength 3, 78 for this single one. However, we do have excess height we can cut away to reduce the cost. So 15, what does that look like? 15... 15 is going to do it just fine, actually. So this shield costs 50 horsepower to operate. Paste from clipboard. I think we're going to reverse... Yeah, we need to reverse the azimuth effect, so... like that... No, wait, not... Was that the elevation I accidentally did? There we go. So there we go. We've got another little gap just in the top of the shielding, but again, not much we can do about that. Well, I could position the shielding better, but it's a very small gap. Again, a 15 and a strength 2.5. And that one's costing us 50 again, roughly. So it's like 200 horsepower being dumped into the shield projectors. Needs to be slightly taller. Let's increase that to 16. It's not like we're short on power. We can feed this. We've got this. There we go, 16. Yeah, there's a slight gap for things that get above it, unfortunately, but that can't really be helped too much. The flares are going off pretty darn steady. We also don't have any forward munition detection. We also don't have any rear shield coverage either, which is potentially a huge flaw. So I will actually very quickly turn that around, turn it upwards, I'll install it there. Range down to 3, strength up to 2.5 because we want it to be uniform strength. And this time we're going to adjust the elevation like that. Height and width. We're just providing some rear coverage, really. So a very small shield is kind of all we need. Drop the range though because I just want it to be. There we go. It needs to be wider. Let's make it 15. Wait, was that? No. Wrong one. 15. There we go. So yeah, so this thing has pretty universal coverage really against rounds, but I will drop the alpha to 0 just so that it's not visible anymore, unless it's deflecting something. So there we go. We have weakened the rear armour slightly, but we have got all around shielding. So yes, this design is now shielded. Of course, we've got the dual under some propellers, we've got side shields, we've got weaponry. So far we have had it in flares and defensive shields. This craft is unfortunately a little bit too small to mount a actual laser munition defense, I think. I could potentially add one, but unfortunately I'm actually running a bit short on internal space now. Despite having a little bit of space near, a decent AMS core is just like too big. So instead I will go with my original thought, which is I am going to include an additional weapon system into this thing as I install additional ammo, because we're going to need additional ammo for the additional weapon. There we go, forward magazine installed. This craft needs some additional armouring at the front as well because of reasons. There we go, right. Well, it's getting the extra armouring at the front just because flat out that's where it's got a lot of nasty stuff. I don't have anywhere on the front to actually mount a so that's okay. The top of the craft is also okay, so I'm thinking button that up now. Let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, that's looking okay. So we'll we've got that. We've got the flare launcher, which is helping to deal with, which can help to deal with incoming heat seeking. We've got the exhaust underneath to help again protect it. We don't have a right. So weapon systems. Let's go ahead and do that. What I want is a lovely, lovely little system, which I've been eyeing up for a while, and that, I'm going to install it here, just so that you guys can see it, which is going to be a new missile system, which I have been, as I said, I've been poking around for a little bit. I'm quite happy with. The only drawback is it needs a decent AI core to properly run it, because it's actually a remote guided core system. Actually, I don't need that. I need, yeah, log center line is all I need. So, let's go ahead and start installing this new system. It's very nasty against lighter targets because it's based around a small launcher. That also makes it relatively cheap to operate. And the trick is just, honestly, the missile payload. So, as you can see, we've got a big rack. Is this enough? I think it is, actually. So, we're going to install a thumper head. We want a variable thruster, yes. We want a turning thruster, which activates 0.5 after, and of course it actually runs on max fuel. So when this thing runs out of fuel, it's going to be in a bit of trouble, must admit, but that's okay. We want to install the fins for the fins, of course, for precision. We're going to install that at the nose, well, towards the nose. Actually, you know what we need? Let's put the fins at the front there. We don't really need the thumper, the warhead, unless we actually put a frag warhead on the front, but the thumper will increase the missile speed. Let's see, 219 versus, what if I put fins? 160, yeah, it's much faster with a thumper on the nose because the thumper is an aerodynamic head. It's going to carry a frag warhead, which I'm going to set to a 45-degree dispersal cone. Yeah, we've got that. We don't need that fins at the back. That's going to be replaced by the remote guidance. There we go. So that's the way the cost is going to be. Remote guidance. Warheads will activate after 1 second. This thing turns 40 degrees with the fin. With the turning thruster, it turns 76 degrees. So it turns really, really hard. We've got enough fuel. 20 seconds. This is not going to be a super big version, but this is going to be a rather nasty one. So, this is our anti-surface slash anti-surface slash anti-air support option. It relies on our guidance tracking and stuff. So it's like it's waiting for the enemy. It doesn't need an IFF, I don't believe. It has no required accuracy for that. It delays for 2 seconds upon readying itself, just to make sure it's got a good target lock. It's full salvo, so it won't fire until it's fully loaded. It's weapon group 3. And AI local web controller, we want this thing to max alt, I think is what we want. Yeah, max alt is going to be, sorry, minimum alt is going to be a minus 10 actually. That means it'll go after ships for the most part, unless they're starting to sink, but it won't go after a submarine, which is good because it can't do anything to a submarine. A burble. Okay, that's looking okay. So that'll do all that. We want the AI wireless connection. Yeah, volley of 40 missiles though. It's set to full salvo deliberately to wait for all of that. There is one other thing though which it needs, which is the ejector add-on, which I didn't actually put in, so give me a second please. We want the... oh, it also needs a staggered fire too. I'm going to install that at the front there. Let's put it to 1.15. That should be good. That's fine. Maximum range, actually, is going to be an issue. So if I look at the stats, it runs... full speed is 227 for 20. 4 kilometers range, roughly, but remember, we've got turning thruster, which will make it steer hard. So I think about 1.5 kilometers it's going to be roughly it's going to be its effective range. If it's beyond that, it's not going to do too well. We've already got the laser set to 500. The APS does not really have a maximum range, so that's okay. But since it doesn't have a 1 turn on that launcher, that means we can't really test fire it too well, personally, because if there's no target for it to lock onto and go after, it will just fire randomly. So let's test fire against the Marauder.
Turning off.
Okay. It should be working better than that. Hang on. Also, I'm kind of wondering why the... Oh, it's mostly because there's a thing in the way. Okay, so are you fully loaded? You are.
Turning off.
Oh, it's because I turned the boat's AI off as well.
Taking control.
Okay, that should load. Yep, there it goes. No wonder it was scattering. It didn't have detection guiding it. So yeah, that is kind of scattering a fair bit. Why is that scattering? I mean, what's tracking it right now? We don't have... Oh, it's the mainframe. Oh, yeah. I've installed the system, but I don't have the mainframe to run it. That's why it's having problems. Okay, so... Yeah, this is a slight issue, admittedly, but it's one I should have seen coming a mile away, because I think I actually mentioned it. I mean, that's why I was installing like a bigger, beefier AI system in the first place. And then it's like, oh, by the way, you forgot to install the AI. Whoops. Okay, let's see, connector. But yeah, without the detection, with the detection frying out, well, basically it's frying its detection systems trying to run all the missiles as things. So everything was getting more inaccurate. Now, as it launches, it's going, okay, okay. Guiding, guiding. And they are kind of scattering a little bit, which is what I'm curious about. Why are you guys scattering? Is there some kind of setting that I've missed? Following the aim point of the mainframe controlling the thing? Okay, let's go ahead and re-average that thing. So it gets a better average and it's not scattering as much. That seems to be adjusting itself quite frequently. But yeah, a couple of missile salvos is having a bit of trouble reloading it now. But don't worry, this is almost at the end of the video. But yeah, that seems to be going okay, except for the fact that it's struggling to properly locate it. Let's go ahead and ditch this craft in the water, actually. And yes, there was an explosion. Boat drops in, goes happy happy bye bye, wanders around a little bit. Okay, it's still going okay for the most part. It sits fairly low in the water, but it's still doing 16.5. But yeah, it's managed to torch off the Marauder's stats quite badly. Are you really within 500 meters? No. I get the feeling I should adjust that down a little bit. Let's drop you down to like 350 meters. The problem is, of course, it's aiming through the water, so it's like... I'll also tell it not to wander so close as well. So where's the AI core? I think that's probably the last thing we need to configure. We've got a decent starter craft right now, I think. Target prioritize, aim points, max time, target mainframes and ammo, yes. You are set to defaults for target prioritization, naval movement, here we go. Enter broadside below 1 kilometer, not 10 kilometers, 1 kilometer. Leave broadside at 1 kilometer, 1010, yes. Broadside minimum range is going to be 600 meters. Nominal broadside gun 45, idle post, depth requirement. Yeah, that seems about right. Okay, so we've got ourselves a fairly decent craft. Apart from a few little tweaks it needs, we are pretty much done with this thing. Okay, 4 parts. I think this last one is actually going to be a bit extra long, but that can't be helped really. Actually, I should probably thicken the armor above there because it's, you know, AI and all that jazz. Okay, so 3 things as I install 3 metal beams on either side of it to help protect the things. Right. Let's go ahead and grab it. This one here will be if there is an enemy within any kind of range. Yep, you will switch the shield projectors over to reflector mode. Yep. And you will also set your priority to 1, so you'll trigger immediately. This next one will be if there are no enemies within reach. That tells me I might have the wrong thing set. Give me a second. You will have a priority of 0. Your shield projectors will set type to 0. However, there will be a delay of 15 seconds, so that the shields will remain active for 15 seconds after a target disappears. And enemy targeted, yeah, I had the wrong thing set. Enemy range. If there's an enemy, raise the shields. If there's no enemy, wait 10 seconds, then deactivate the shields. This one, I'm not quite sure about, but this one is control, vehicle, enemy. I know there's one in here for lasers. Control, no. Vehicle altitude, vehicle stats, laser attack, that's the one. If vehicles are attacked by a laser in the last 10 seconds, yeah, so if there is an incoming laser, then you will set type to laser absorption mode. Right, so it'll switch over for like 5 seconds, and you have a priority of 2, so this will override the other 2 settings. So if this vehicle gets attacked by a laser, it should switch its shields to the laser defense. Okay, the last thing is we have no anti-sub munitions. But, what's our... Oh. Damn it. Yeah, I did say the expenses and the weapons, we've gone over budget. So yeah, I'm actually going to leave it at that, sadly. So this was meant to be a 20 to 25, this is actually round up as a 28.5. But for that we have got a small-ish escort craft, which is it's functional against aircraft and surface targets. It can't deal with subs, but yeah, weaponry and defences are kind of the big spend ticket items. Oh dear. But yeah. actual target testing, proper combat testing / demonstration, and also the paint job will be fitted for the final video to go with in this particular set, which will be the one with the upload link and also where this craft has been named, which, by the way, to mention it again, that happens in the Discord, link down below in the Rust Removal channel. I post a picture of a completed build and people get to suggest names for it. But yeah, if you have a suggestion for what kind of craft I should try to build next, or hints or tips or saying things telling me I'm an idiot, go right ahead down below in the comments or in the Discord. Though honestly, if you're trying to help the YouTube channel, the comments below is more useful. So like, thumbs up, share, subscribe, do a little rain dance, laugh at me for being an idiot, whichever you like. This has been AX-B. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all some other time. See you all later.